So my surprise announcement is that hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Abena Addo, and on my channel I'm documenting my experiences living in Ghana, but also traveling the beautiful continent of Africa. So as you guys know, I've recently posted about my trip to Kenya, which was a life-changing experience. It was just gorgeous. And today I'm just gonna do a review about my trip and what my thoughts are about the beautiful country of Kenya. So first off, to my Kenyan followers who have showed me so much love, thank you so much for all of your support, all of your subscriptions to my channel, all of your comments, all of the views. I really, really appreciate it. Jambo na Karayuni na channel Young. So that's for my Kenyan followers. That's my little bit of Swahili. I'm trying over here. Thank you so much for all of the love and support that you guys have shown me throughout all my Kenyan videos. You guys have viewed, sent me comments. You guys have interacted with all the videos, subscribed to the channel, so thank you so much. I have a very big special announcement for you guys at the end of this video, so please stay tuned and you guys can see what that announcement is. Now let's get into this video. So one of the first things I'll say is just Kenyan people are so friendly, so nice, and that has to be one of the biggest takeaways about my trip. Like no matter where we went, they were helping us, you know, giving us directions, just being really friendly, from the tuk-tuk drivers, the Ubers, to staff at hotels, and just everyone that we were interacting with. So that's one of the big takeaways from my trip to Kenya. And the second thing I would say is that, you know, Nairobi is just a mega city. It is humongous. There's so much going on, but one of the things that I really, really enjoyed was how fresh the air was. There's like this cool breeze in the morning, and it just felt so clean. And I guess the biggest comparison between Accra and Nairobi would be like, because I guess there's less humidity in Nairobi and there's a lot of vegetation, there's a lot of greenery, the air is just noticeably cleaner and it just seems a lot easier to breathe. Even like going for outdoor walks, you feel like you're taking in smog. So that was a big takeaway for me. So on this video, I'm going to talk about the two places that I went. So I went to Nairobi, as I just mentioned, and I also went to Diani. So just two places. It was more of a relaxing holiday. So first, let's start with Nairobi. So I first entered to the Nairobi airport. I flew from Accra with Kenya Airways, which was great. One of the big things that stuck out to me, which I did mention in my other videos, was the security. So I've never been to an airport where there was so much security. So before, so when we were leaving, you know, all of your bags had to go through a security checkpoint. Like you had to go through like when you're coming into security to leave the airport, which I thought was interesting. And then it was quite normal, but when I was leaving Nairobi airport, and this is what I want to mention, and I'll show some videos about it, like you had to get out of the Uber, walk through the security like metal detectors, then the car goes through metal detectors, then you can get back in the Uber, and this is every single person has to get out, and then there's like another security checkpoint, and then when you get to the airport you take out your bags, whatever, and to enter the airport you go through security, then your bags go through the metal detectors, and that's like before you even check in. So I've never seen that before, and you know, I was doing a lot of research to understand the security issue, and I'll start by saying I felt very safe my entire trip. There was not one day I didn't feel safe. I think Kenya is a very safe place, but there has been some challenges in the past with support that Kenya's given to neighboring countries, which has resulted in, you know, some threats to Kenya. So this is not a political channel, I'm not going to go into all of that, but I just wanted to note that that is why I did do some research to understand why there was so much security. And the security translated to everywhere that we went, right? So hotel, go through metal detectors before you enter and exit. Nairobi Street Kitchen, metal detectors. Westgate Mall, metal detectors. And even someone had commented on my last video, but when I was in Westgate Mall, that they were surprised I was even able to film because they're so big on security there. And so I understand why. There's been a lot of challenges and threats, and so they're really big on security, which is great. But I think, you know, in general, there's threats everywhere, and so that's not a reason not to visit or anything like that. But I did wanted to give you guys a bit of context because it's something that I really did a lot of research on to better understand. Now, when I got into Nairobi, we just did so much stuff. First, we went to Sankara Hotel, which is amazing. So I will link right here my hotel tour of the Sankara Hotel. So this is a Marriott. It's in the Marriott family. It's a bit pricey, so it's about 500 US per night. But if you're a Marriott member, you get access to the lounge. They have a great outdoor pool. They have a bar. They have a great restaurant. The fee includes breakfast, so it's a really, really big breakfast. Fills you up for like most of the day. But yeah, so it was a really great hotel. I would recommend staying. It's kind of like a business hotel, so there's a lot of people like in transit or people with meetings in Nairobi, and you are literally in the heart of Nairobi. So you can walk to Westgate Mall, you can walk to a lot of the bars, you can walk to restaurants and stuff like that. And if not, there's an Uber. Ubers can come quite quickly. So in Nairobi, we went to the Giraffe Center, which was really nice. So I have a vlog about my Nairobi trip, which you guys can see more about. We went to the Karura Forest and just kind of doing all the sites within Nairobi. It was just nice to walk around the city. I have to say, like in Accra, I don't really walk much around, and it's not to say, I just feel like the infrastructure isn't as welcoming to pedestrians in Accra as it is to Nairobi, and so that's something that I really, really appreciated. And yeah, it's just, I haven't even walked a long time. Like if you look at my steps on my Apple Watch, I am very behind when I'm in Accra, but everywhere else, they're a lot higher. So that was one thing. Yeah, and I'll also, so right here, I'll link my Nairobi vlog so you guys can take a look at all the stuff that I did there. Overall, I really love Nairobi. It is very busy. There's a lot going on. There is a lot of infrastructure development. So there was quite a bit of traffic. I would say actually on par with Accra. But what I did see was that there was a lot of development. So there's a lot of overpasses in, you know, the latter stage of being completed, which is really great. And that will just transform the city. And it wasn't just like one overpass, it was everywhere. And so I guess the construction phase going between the project, you know, starting and ending, the roads are never really thought through very much, but there's a lot of, it's towards completion, which is a positive thing. And I think will completely transform the entire city and will help alleviate a lot of the traffic. We were like late we almost missed one of our flights because we were going to the Wilson Airport, which is in Nairobi, but we were just like in traffic the entire time. So anyway, overall, Nairobi was fantastic. Some fun facts about Nairobi: there's about 5 million people there. They have a really great river that runs through it, and it's just a great place to see. There's a lot of advancement with regards to infrastructure. There's a lot of people there. There's a lot of like international people there as well. So it just seems like there's a lot going on within the city. One of the bars that we actually went to was called the Gecko Bar, which was probably one of the highlights. It's like a super local place, but it's very calm, and we just had drinks there, met up with some friends, and that probably was one of my favorite places to just hang out. Okay, so after Nairobi, the second half of the trip, we went to the coast to Diani. Oh my goodness. So Diani is just beautiful. It is like famous for the kite surfing, the white beaches, the white sand beaches, the blue water, like just breathtaking. The water was like quite warm as well. It was just, everywhere I went, I just looked and I was just like, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's a really big beach culture too, and I really, really like that. So I didn't post this in some of my other videos, but I'll add to this video. Like, as you can see, we were in a place called Nomads, which is just like a super cool beach little restaurant. Like, it's basically all these surfers come here, and it was just a really nice place to vibe out and chill. We spent a lot of afternoons there. Yeah, so there was just so much to see. One of my favorite things about Diani was just how relaxed everyone was, how welcoming everyone was. So a fun fact about Diani, it's the Digo community. So it's about 100,000 people that live within this beach town. So it's quite a small town. 90% of them are Muslim. Super nice, super welcoming. I learned a bit about the Digo culture and understanding more about the people there. As some of you have mentioned, there's a huge influence in this like Swahili infrastructure, and that's kind of why kind of everything has this like really, really cool cultural, historic feel. It's nothing I've ever seen before, and it's fantastic. So I stayed at a place called Swahili Beach Resort. So I'll link here my hotel tour of the Swahili Beach Resort. So this place was about just over $200 a night, and it came with breakfast. And it was a super, like, access to all the pools, beachfront, private, really, really beautiful. So I would recommend staying in Swahili Beach Resort if you do go. And it's quite affordable for like a longer trip as well. And overall, I have like really good things to say about the resort. The food was okay. That's probably the one thing where I was like, okay, it wasn't amazing. The breakfast was like buffet style, and it just wasn't as nice as like Sankara, for example. But they did have restaurants on site, and it wasn't far to take a tuk-tuk to other sites. One of the fascinating things that happened in Diani was we were trying to order Ubers to go different places. And what was interesting is that the Uber prices would be one, and then the Uber driver would call you and be like, hey, I know the price says X, but the cost for your trip is Y. Like, where are you going? Okay, the cost is this. And I was like, oh, you know, in Ghana, people always, Uber and Bolt has its challenges. And I was just like, what? Like, are you guys trying to, you know, pull a fast one on me? And then another Uber would say the same thing. And I'm like, that's so weird. So then we left the hotel, and there was all these tuk-tuks going on. So we actually took the tuk-tuks a lot of times from the beach to Chalet Island, to Cave Restaurant, to all these different places. We just took tuk-tuks. And the tuk-tuks had the exact same price to go to the exact same places as the Ubers. And I was like, wow. And I was talking to one of the drivers, and in fact, you know, the community there is so united that they actually decide what the costs are to go from one place to the other. Because as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, Uber kind of isn't as advantageous to the drivers because they take a percentage, and it can be quite a lot. And then sometimes they'll lowball the price of the trip. And so the person who loses is a driver. And so what they've done is they've actually come together on a united front and decided, okay, from this place to this place is 20, and from this place to this place is 30. And they are all enforcing it. And I just thought that was an incredible thing, because it just means that like they're so united, and it's such a big community. It's such a united community, which I've never seen before. And I thought that was really good. And it actually makes sure that, you know, the livelihood and the people are put forward. So after that, I was like, okay, now I understand like the Uber, like I was expecting the call, okay, that's not the actual price, it's gonna be this price. And I just appreciated that, and I thought it was really interesting. So one of the things that I'll note is the travel from Kenya, or from Ghana to Kenya, was actually quite expensive. And I think intra travel within Africa is quite expensive, which really deters people from traveling the continent, especially like Africans from Ghana going to visit East Africa. And instead, it's actually cheaper to go to like London. And for those reasons, it's like, it doesn't even make sense, because the cost of living in Kenya is closer to the cost of living in Ghana than it is to London. And I think if we actually have policies that help to reduce the price for intra-African travel, you'll actually allow Africans to visit other parts of Africa and understand different cultures within the continent, and it will actually encourage tourism. I don't think there's as much tourism from like East Africa to West Africa to Central Africa to South Africa, and it's mostly deterred because of the price. And I think that would be a good opportunity for, it's a good opportunity to help just like allow Africans to see other parts of Africa, and it kind of remove the desire to always want to go to the US or always want to go to London. It's like so expensive for people who live here to travel to those places. And it's not even, I mean, I'm not going to say anything, but there's a lot more culture and beauty within the continent. And I would love to encourage more Africans to visit different parts of Africa. Well, if you guys are still watching, thank you guys. You've made it to the end of the video and my surprise announcement. So my surprise announcement is that, drumroll please, I am coming back to Kenya. So I have had so much love from the Kenyans on my channel. You guys have given me advice. You guys have given me recommendations. I have people on my Instagram who are videographers, content creators who want to collab, and I am just really overwhelmed and grateful for all the love that you guys have shown me. So I really want to go to Mombasa. I really want to go to Lamu Island. I want to go to Masai Mara. I didn't do a safari, and I know these are like the best safaris in the world. The reason I didn't do it is because I recently did one in South Africa. I will link my South African luxury safari here. But I know there's so much more to see than just a safari with the Masai Mara people, and so I really want to go spend a few nights there and really see. Yeah, and I just want to learn more about the culture, and I want to see more of Kenya. So please let me know if there's anywhere else in the comments below where you guys think I should go. Let me know where you're from. Let me know where I need to visit. You guys know best. You guys have shown me so much love, and all I can do is come back to your country and keep exploring, keep learning, and keep showing the world about the beautiful country that you guys have. So please let me know in the comments where else I should go when I come back to Kenya. I'm going to be planning that trip within 2023, so I'm looking forward to it. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to getting more and more content ready for you guys. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and please like this video. I will see you guys next time. See ya.